1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has urged the international community to work together for developing interfaith harmony and peaceful coexistence. The Finance Minister says the government is striving to ensure smooth supply of basic items through Ramazan Sahulat, Sasta Bazaars and utility store outlets to ease their shortage and check the price hike. The Army Chief, at a meeting with the Afghan President in Kabul today, reiterated that Pakistan will always support an Afghan-led and Afghan-owned peace process based on mutual consensus of all the stakeholders. Pakistan has welcomed Taliban's announcement of a 3-day ceasefire on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr in Afghanistan. The United Nations Security Council meets today to discuss the escalating tension in occupied East Jerusalem. In the United States, 7 people were killed in a shooting at a birthday party in the state of Colorado. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has urged the international community to work together towards developing interfaith harmony and peaceful coexistence. Talking to the Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Dr. Yusuf Ahmad Al Usaimin, in a meeting in Makkah, he called upon the Committee of Nations to show a common resolve against intolerance and incitement to violence on the basis of religion or belief. Imran Khan said it is also imperative not to allow anyone to create any linkage between Islam and terrorism. Highlighting the rise of Islamophobic incidents in different parts of the world, the Prime Minister stressed the importance of a concerted response from the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The Finance Minister Shaukat Tareen says the government is striving to ensure smooth supply of basic items through a network of Ramadan Sahulat and Sasta Bazaars and utility stores outlets to ease shortages and check price hike. Chairing a meeting of the National Price Monitoring Committee in Islamabad today, he said COVID-19 pandemic has caused price hike of food items in the international market, especially of edible oil, sugar, tea and wheat. The Finance Minister said cartelization is not acceptable at any cost and stern action will be taken to keep the prices of basic commodities in check, and all those responsible for undue profiteering or hoarding will be taken to task. The Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa has reiterated that Pakistan will always support an Afghan-led and an Afghan-owned peace process based on mutual consensus of all the stakeholders. Talking to the Afghan President Ashraf Ghani in Kabul today, he said a peaceful Afghanistan means a peaceful region in general and a peaceful Pakistan in particular. The Afghan President thanked the Army Chief for a meaningful discussion and appreciated Pakistan's sincere and positive role in the Afghan peace process. The Chief of the Defence Staff of United Kingdom, General Sir Nicholas Patrick Carter, was also present during the meeting. The British Chief of Defence Staff, General Sir Nicholas Patrick Carter, called on the Chief of the Army Staff, General Qamar Javed Bajwa, today and discussed matters of mutual interest and regional security, particularly the current developments in the Afghan peace process. Measures to further enhance bilateral and defence cooperation were also discussed during the meeting. The visiting dignitary appreciated Pakistan's sincere efforts for peace and stability in the region, especially the Afghan peace process. Pakistan has welcomed Taliban's announcement of a 3-day ceasefire on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr in Afghanistan. In a tweet today, the Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry said Pakistan fully supports all efforts leading to reduction in violence and contributing towards achieving durable stability and lasting peace in Afghanistan. Earlier, in a statement issued on Twitter, the Taliban declared today that they will observe a 3-day ceasefire this week across the country during Eid al-Fitr. This is Radio Pakistan. More than 200 unarmed Palestinians were injured when Israeli police again used force against them at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound today. The Palestinian Red Crescent, in a brief statement to journalists, said about 50 of them were hospitalized. The Israeli security forces used stun grenades, tear gas and rubber bullets and injured many Palestinians. The Chairman Senate Mohammad Sadiq Sanjirani has written letters to the leaders of world's parliaments, drawing the attention of the international community towards the recent Israeli aggression against the innocent Palestinians praying in the Al-Aqsa Mosque. In his letters to head speakers and presiding officers of the parliaments of various countries, including the United States, Canada and the United Kingdom, he said Israeli actions are clear violation of international human rights and laws. He said no religion allows such kind of barbarism on worshippers. The Chairman Senate said all the countries of the world must strongly condemn the atrocities against innocent Palestinians. The United Nations Security Council will meet today to discuss the escalating tensions in occupied East Jerusalem. The Council will hold a closed-door session to discuss the crisis, which began with the forced expulsion of Palestinian families from their homes in Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood by the Israeli settlers. The envoys of the European Union, Russia, the United States and the United Nations have expressed their concern regarding the possible eviction of Palestinian families from their ancestral homes in the two neighborhoods of occupied East Jerusalem. In a statement, they said it will only escalate the already tense environment. They reiterated the commitment to a negotiated two-state solution of the issue. Meanwhile, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, urged the Israeli authorities to refrain from using violence against children and release all the detained children. Muslims across the world have strongly condemned and launched protests against Israeli attacks on unarmed Palestinians at the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which left hundreds of Palestinians injured during the holy month of Ramadan. In a statement, the American Council of Muslim Organizations denounced the nighttime storming and desecration of the Al-Aqsa Mosque by Israeli forces and the firing of stun grenades at worshippers offering Ramadan prayers. The organization urged the American President Joe Biden and the Congress to halt its financial support for Israeli government and institutions in their clear crimes against humanity. Demonstrations were held across the United Kingdom in solidarity with the Palestinian worshippers who were attacked by Israeli soldiers inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has expressed serious concern over the plight of illegally detained Kashmiris lodged in Indian jails and the threats posed to their lives due to the massive surge in coronavirus in India. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference spokesman, in a statement issued in Srinagar, said the recent shocking custodial killing of senior APHC leader Mohammad Ashraf Serai in Udhampur jail points to the fact that the people of Kashmir have genuine apprehensions about the safety of the detainees. The acting chairman of Jammu and Kashmir Muslim League, Abdul Ahad Para, and senior Hurriyat leader Ghulam Muhammad Khan Supori, in their statements in Srinagar, called upon the United Nations Secretary General and World Human Rights Organizations and world community to play their role in the release of Kashmiri detainees and towards the settlement of the Kashmir dispute for durable peace in South Asia. And now cricket. Pakistan beat Zimbabwe in the second cricket test match by an innings and 147 runs at Harare today, clinching the two-match series 2-0. The final scores: Pakistan 510 for 8 declared, Zimbabwe 132 and 231 runs. Abid Ali scored 215 runs and was declared player of the match. And finally, the weather. Hot and dry weather is likely to prevail in most plain areas of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, wind, thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in northeast Punjab, western districts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Upper Sindh, Lower Balochistan, Kashmir, and adjoining hilly areas during evening and night hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.